Okay, let's start. Please introduce yourself.
Sir, my name is Javed Majid Pandit. I am from Sariwarpura Patan, district Baramulla. I am presently pursuing my PhD from Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. I did my MBA from University of Mysore. After that, I worked with Human Capital Management as Business Development Manager for 2 years. After that, I worked with Gazamal for 2 years as a Business Development Manager. Recently, I worked with Byju's IS as Content Development Associate for 1 year. My hobbies are blog writing and reading books, and my optional is public administration.
Okay, Javed, your name is Javed. What is the meaning of the name?
Javed means alive. Someone whose character is good, that is alive.
Do you think the name expresses your personality well?
Yes, sir, I do believe that.
Given a chance, if you had to take some other name for yourself, what would that be?
Sir, I'm happy with this name. If given a chance, I would like to take my father's name, Majid.
Okay. All right. Your optional is public administration. Can you differentiate for me these two terms, accountability and responsibility?
Sir, accountability and responsibility, right, sir?
Yes, accountability and responsibility.
Sir, accountability is a post-mortem concept wherein a particular person has a job and he has to be accountable for that job. And responsibility is a contemporary process wherein somebody is assigned to some responsibility. He will be asked what he is doing, sir.
Okay. Okay. Tell me about this politics administration dichotomy that you studied in public administration.
Yes, sir.
Elaborate on that.
Sir, political administration dichotomy was the concept elaborated earlier by classical thinkers like Woodrow Wilson. They talked that politics is a different thing which will be primarily focused on policy making, and administration is a different thing which will be primarily focused on implementation of those policies. So there was a debate going on when public administration as a subject was evolving, that political administration are two different things. But later it was said that no, political administration dichotomy as a concept is one concept only. Later thinkers like Herbert Simon, Chester Bernard discarded this concept. They said political administration is one concept only.
You mentioned Woodrow Wilson. Is he the father of public administration?
We say that Woodrow Wilson is a father of American public administration. There are few scholars who say it is Dunham who can be rightly said as the father of public administration.
Okay, compare and contrast the contributions that they both have made.
Woodrow Wilson was the first one who, in his essay, the seminal essay of the concept of public administration, the science of public administration in 1886, brought a paper wherein he talked about why there has been a late emergence of public administration. So wherein the Dunham has also talked about a comparison of American public administration and European public administration.
Okay, have you studied about the models of the grievance redressal mechanisms?
No, sir, I don't remember it properly right now.
Are you aware of the Pragati system?
Yes, sir. Pragati is yes, sir.
Oh, elaborate on that.
Sir, Pragati is a system wherein the Prime Minister of India on every Wednesday is having a webinar with the chief secretaries of every state to understand their program evaluation and review technique also, like they understand the different progress of different projects which is going on different states, and they also take into account the work being done so far.
Okay, suppose since you've studied public administration, suppose you have a subordinate who is producing a substandard work, and the work that he has to produce has to be of a standard nature, but it is also important per se that he because the fate of many people depends on that work. Now my question to you would be, how would you deal with such situation?
The ultimate aim of the public service is public good, and if the quality of the service is not up to the mark, definitely we can not pass that particular thing, because it's the taxpayers' money ultimately which reach to the people. So definitely we can just try to talk with the subordinate, try to understand what are the lacunae or what are the issues he is facing in producing the quality of the services, and we can also issue the guidelines. So what are the checklist for a quality services?
Okay, tell me about what were Kautilya's views about on governance.
Kotala talked about good governance long back when the concept of good governance was not there. When he talked about the king has two ends, one is the constitutional duty, the other is the personal duty. He talked about constitutional morality of the king also, wherein he said that king is ultimate. The happiness of the king lies in the happiness of the subjects. He also talked about the during war when the forces will go. Yeah, sorry, sir. He talked about during war when the forces go on a war and they destroy the fields and all. So there should be a mechanism wherein they should be also compensated. He even
Mhm.
talked about that the corruption. An officer cannot escape the corruption no matter what. The way we cannot say how a fish uh, takes water when the fish is in the water.
Has he said anything about corruption as well?
Uh, yes, sir. He has said things about corruption also. When he talks about like we cannot say, he talks about 40 different types of embezzlement, sir.
Do you think his ideas on governance and corruption are still relevant today?
Yes, sir. The second ARC also mentioned a lot of things from this. Even also the civil service rules also have the things which has been directly taken from the Kotala's administration to Kotala's embezzlement techniques and all, how officers do corruption and all.
Okay, have you studied Elton Mayo?
Yes, sir.
So, what motivates people according to Elton Mayo?
Sir, Mayo believes that it is not the monetary term itself, it is also the environment at the workplace which also motivates people. The condition at the workplace is very important, and the coordination of the people are with the, we can say the human interaction is very the essence of this concept.
All right. You are also a management student, is that right? Okay, tell me, do you think administration and management are two sides of the same coin?
To a greater extent, we can say they are the two aspects of the same coin, but administration is a wider concept as compared to the management. Management comes within the administration.
Okay. Give me the difference between decentralization and delegation.
Okay. So delegation means when we delegate work to a particular person, if we feel that that particular person is fit to do that work.
Mhm.
Decentralization means giving authority to the lower levels or giving authority to other organs to carry out the work. So delegation is like when we delegate the authority, maybe it cannot have the legal backing. Also, we can just delegate some part of authority. But decentralization usually is backed by the law. Sir.
Okay, can you discuss a specific problem or challenge that you faced during your management program? What was the specific issue that you faced, and how did you solve it?
I think taking admission in one of the colleges in Bangalore was one of the management decisions when I decided that I should go to a business school instead of a university. That was one of the decision I had to take, and then later on sticking with the decision and getting into the corporate placement.
No,
No,
no.
no.
I think this was a decision.
During your management course, was there any specific problem that you worked on, and did you solve any issues?
Yes, sir. I was a coordinator in IM Integlo event, wherein we coordinated at the Bangalore city level with
Mm-hmm.
different colleges to conduct an event. It was a challenge to us, wherein we were asked to coordinate to as many as colleges so that to make this event a successful one. So we coordinated as a team and just got success in that.
So, how do you plan on applying what you've learned in your MBA into administration?
Uh, the basic essence of administration is like I have learned in management also the postgrad principle of planning, organizing, staffing, directing, coordinating, and budgeting. So the same principle I can apply in tomorrow in civil service also because whether it's a public organization or a government organization or a private organization, the functions almost are same. They are both carrying the same function of planning or budgeting or recruitment or staffing. So that knowledge I can convert or I can imply that knowledge in the public sector also.
Mhm. Okay, why did you go for MBA? What pursued you? What motivated you to go for MBA?
It was one of my seniors from my village who did BBA then. Then he motivated me to go for BBA and then MBA. It will not only provide you opportunity to do a work in corporate sector also, and it will also help you to groom your personality per se.
So you are spot on with your plan. You got it into BBA, then into MBA, and then got into corporate sector. You've been working in the corporate sector. Then why do you want to join civil services?
Sir, after some time, I start believing that the job in the private sector is getting more monotonous. Like the sailor job was getting more monotonous. I felt like I should look into some career wherein there is diversity. And then I discussed it with one of my friend and my family. They said me that if you can, then just apply into the civil service. It is going to give you much leverage and it's going to be very diverse also.
So diversity is one of the reasons. Anything else?
Yes, sir.
Anything else apart from diversity? Diversity being one of the reasons for you to join civil services.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, yes. Apart from diversity, it's also the financial sustainability. Plus, it will also give me. It will also empower me to make some difference in development, rural development, or tomorrow we can say like sanitation or some other aspects in the village level. I feel like if I have the power, I can at least maneuver, or I can at least take a step so that I can at least become a change to somebody's life.
So you're from Baramulla district. Tell me, what is the history of Baramulla?
Sir, the history of Baramulla is believed that it was a Satisar, Kashmir as a whole was a Satisar lake, wherein there was water. It was a lake only. Then it was Kashyap Rishi who just did some Panisha and then took a shape of a bore, then just dig a hole near Baramulla so that the water receded and all. And then the town of Baramulla came into the picture. And it is also believed that it was Jaisima who built the town of Baramulla. It was an ancient town also, which is called Varmul Shastra. In the ancient, we can say it's called Varmul Shastra as a town.
Oh, are there any some notable landmarks or historical sites?
Yes, sir. Baramulla has various sites like in Patan also we have Sugandesha temples. We have Paryaspur also. We have those temples also. We have Gulmarg also. Then we have even Sopor also is a historical town built by Suvarma.
Okay, tell me, how has the society of Baramulla changed over time?
Sir, globalization has impacted the lives of the people across all the aspects. In Baramulla, also, we are seeing that people are much more now inclined towards education is reaching to every sector. Plus, apart from that, like the uh, cultural part also has got transformation in Baramulla. So I can see in Baramulla like the road infrastructure plus education plus other amenities have taken a new shape. And plus now women empowerment has also taken a form in Baramulla. Apart from that, agriculture also has got a boost because of some entrepreneurs who have started, I think, niche fruits in Baramulla.
Do you think tourism is a big reason for the societal changes that have happened there?
Yes, sir, we can say that to a greater extent tourism has, because when there has been convergence of different people, or there has been interaction of the people from outside with the people of the native place, so definitely there is some improvement in the culture.
Okay, how many subdivisions do we have in Baramulla?
Sir, Baramulla is having, I think, four subdivisions, sir.
And how many tehsils?
Tehsils are 17, sir.
17? Okay, tell me, what is the sex ratio?
Sex ratio of Baramulla is, sir, 889 per thousand, sir.
According to which census?
It is census 2011, sir.
And what was the sex ratio in 2001?
In 2001, sir, it was much better. It was 900 something, sir.
So what are the reasons for the declining sex ratio?
Sir, declining sex ratio in urban areas has declined to a greater extent. It is because of the availability of the facilities, medical facilities, and also availability of those tests, wherein people have got more fascination, or people have got like sun metaphase interfaces also there, sir.
Please elaborate on that a little more.
People are just I think neonatal tests are being done, wherein people believe that if they don't have the son, they just abort the child. If they in the pursuit of I think sons also, there is a chances that they are just doing abortion.
So is that the primary cause?
Sir, this can be one of the causes, sir. Not the primary cause, sir, but this can be one of the causes.
What are the other causes?
I think, sir, empowerment of the woman empowerment, education can be also one of the cause.
education can be one of the causes for the declining sex ratio?
Sir, because the women now have, because earlier it was that women were treated like the property of the men. Now women are educated also. They have control, or they have some say in bearing the children also, sir. I believe so. That's also one of the reasons
But
that.
that is true for the males as well as for the female child. But how is it linked to this declining sex ratio?
Okay, sir, I mistaken it, sir. Sorry, sir.
You have mentioned that uh, you what is your interest? Blog writing.
Blog writing and reading books, sir.
Which is the book that you recently read?
I'm, sir, reading right now The Republic by Vijay Kelkar and Ajay Shah.
And what are the key takeaways from that book?
The book talks about policy making in itself is not an issue. It's only the implementation stage which usually gets, which takes us back. And the book further talks about like there are different factors which usually led to policy failures. That is market imperfection. Then it talks about like externalities also. It talks about lack of information also.
Okay, tell me, who's your favorite author?
I prefer reading Raghuram Rajan books.
Any which is the favorite book of Raghuram Rajan?
The third pillar, sir.
And what is the central theme of the book?
So the book talks about the three different themes. It talks about the market, it talks about the state, and it talks about the communities. And it talks about how market and state has led communities behind. Then it gives the example of how we evolved and how communities were then empowered, and now how state has got monopoly over everything, and that has led to communities lagging behind.
Okay, tell me why did you start blog writing?
And sir, when I was reading books and all, I felt that I should write it also what I understand from the concepts I am reading, so that I can read them, I can write them in my own words. So then I start writing also. Then sometimes some of the blogs I read were very good also. So recently I got one of my reader published in Greater Kashmir also, wherein I talked about farmers in Jammu and Kashmir and the problems in horticulture sector.
So how is article different from blogs?
In sir article, you have to take care of the audience also. Article has a particular theme. It starts with the introduction. The word limit is also there. Wherein blog is like a daily entry. It can be small also. It can be large blog also. Like, and the word limit is not there in the blog, sir.
How do you measure the success of your blog?
It depends upon the interaction of the people. If somebody is commenting on my blog, then it reaches to wider audience. Otherwise, usually my blogs are not yet monetized. I don't measure in the monetary terms, but yeah, if somebody comments me, says me that I read this and there was some mistake or there was something which I agree with you, then I feel like yeah, maybe my message is reaching to the people.
And what do you think are the integral components of a good blog?
So the integral components of a good blog is one of the important things is that you should have a good introduction, plus which can have good search engine optimization also, wherein your blog appears in the searches also if you are writing something. These are, and plus a good body and a conclusion. And if you can put some images also in the blog, then it gives the added benefit, sir.
Are you interested in any of the sports?
Sir, badminton.
Okay, shed some light on the origins of badminton.
Sir, the supports of the badminton has evolved in India only in 1870s, and the support was earlier called as Pune. And then later the British took it to the England, and then start refining the support per se, and then it start evolving, sir, with the passage of time. Then there were competition. It got inducted into Olympics also. Then both male and female start playing also. Then there were also doubles also, where male, female on one part were playing. So this is how, sir, badminton as a sports evolved.
Okay, tell me, don't you think we should, we have this concept of mixed doubles in badminton. Don't you think we should have similar concepts in cricket as well?
Yes, sir. There is sometimes if we have friendly mates and all, then there are definitely women also playing side by side with men also. But when it comes to competition, they want to just have uniformity, so that at least they can just have a uniform competition. That's why. Otherwise, if in charity mates and all, we are having both women and men playing simultaneously.
Okay, how is the scoring system in badminton different from tennis?
The scoring system in badminton, sir, is that every drop is a point from both sides. Whoso drops it, it's a 1 point in there, and it's a 21-point game. And where in
Mhm.
tennis, that unless and if it's not your serve, your point is not being calculated.
Okay. Can you just give me what are the different types of shots that we use in badminton?
We have like back drop is also one shot. We have smash is also there. And we have back flip is also there, like we just play like this. Maybe back drop is like we just play. Then there's smash also like this way. Yeah, there are three different popular shots are like those three.
Okay, and what are the major tournaments in the world of badminton?
We have in the badminton we have usually in the Olympics also we have the badminton. Then we
Mhm.
have in I'm not able to recollect the name. We are having in badminton in the Indian level we have national badminton national championship also. I think Davis Cup is also there. Davis Cup is there for the badminton.
Okay, what are the mental benefits that you have derived from playing this sport?
Badminton as a sport is of a mental game only because the court premises are within your limit, so that you have to play with the mind of the other person, how he is going to play, if he's like attractive or if he's like attacking and all, then how you can defend and all. And plus, it's a
Mhm.
game wherein it inculcates in you this the medium of, like we can say, inculcates you within the team spirit also. If you are playing with some other player also, then definitely it gives you that particular thing wherein you can at least have the team spirit also.
Okay, tell me about this recoveries that we have had. What are the different shapes of recoveries that a country can achieve?
Sir, we have U-shaped recovery also, V-shaped recovery also, and in pandemic we have some J-shaped recovery also, sir.
What is a J-shaped recovery?
Sir, if we see the shape of the J, sir, first it starts getting up, then again it starts getting down, sir, after some time. So it takes like a step first. The first when the economy is in the recession, then it starts slowly and slowly like getting the shape. After some time, it reaches to a point, then again it starts getting a drop.
So how is that a J-shaped recovery? J J J shaped would just go down to the recession, and then they'll move up to the ladder, and this just keep on moving. So that would be J.
Yes, sir. Yes, I got confused, sir, in that.
Okay, what are the recovery? Which is the recovery that India has actually followed?
Sir, in India, we usually have, I guess, V-shaped recovery, sir.
Are you sure?
No, sir, I'm not sure, but sir, I believe, sir, I guess.
Are you aware of the K-shaped recovery?
I have heard about it, sir, but I don't remember it right now.
Okay, no issues. Okay, tell me about we have always this gap between the GDP of the country and the GVA of the country. Can you tell me why is there a gap between the GDP and the GVA?
Uh, Sir, GDP is the gross domestic production, and
Mhm.
GVP is gross value added, sir. So gross
Mhm.
value added might be some other value from outside of the territory also, sir. This is the total value of the output. It might be included in the GVA might include also those items also which were not yet included into the GDP, sir.
What is the concept of moonlighting?
Sir, the concept of moonlighting means when a particular employee is working with two firms or two employers at the same time, sir. That's moonlighting, sir.
Recently government has used this word a lot of times, the word of asset monetization. Are you aware of it? So can you give me the difference between asset monetization and disinvestment?
Sir, disinvestment means when government is shedding off some of its investment or some of its share in a particular project or in a particular public sector undertaking. While
Mhm.
asset monetization means government has different assets like railways, government has different like airports also. wherein they try to monetize it, giving it to the private sector for a lease for some time. They are not shedding that particular ownership, but they are only giving it for a lease.
Okay, are you aware of this grouping of I2U2?
Uh, Grouping of, sir?
I2U2.
No, no, sir.
Okay. Okay, what concerns does India have about the Belt and Road Initiative of China?
I think one of the first and the foremost concern is the sovereignty of India. So Belt and Road Initiative passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, wherein India believes that any project which is hurting India's territorial segments, territorial integrity, we are not going to appreciate that. One of the prime focus is that only because it is in the disputed territories.
So, do we have any alternatives to the Belt and Road Initiative of China? Any global alternatives?
Recently, sir, we are talking about like RCEP is also there. We are talking about like other groupings also wherein India is involved. We are talking QD is also there. And then we are
No,
saying, I think,
about the infrastructural projects. Do we have any sort of alternative to the BRI?
I think we are working with Iran in the Jabar port, sir. That's our alternative to that.
Are you aware of the Mosam project?
Sir, Mosam project is for I think oceans, sir. Wherein,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, sir, I don't recollect it properly.
Okay, tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how honest are you?
I think, sir, 8.5, sir.
Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me, what are your biggest strengths?
One of my strengths, sir, is I'm a quick learner. I'm emotionally stable, and I have empathy towards people. Yes, sir.
So, if you're emotionally stable, then you should not have cheated, because you're cheating because you're given to your emotions.
Yes, sir. I should have not.
Okay, tell me, why should we select you?
So there are various values, various skills required for a bureaucrat, for a civil servant, like empathy, hard work, honesty, perseverance. And as per my friends and my teachers, I believe I have those skills which are required to do the job, sir.
And how would your background in management, in MBA, the skills that you've learned there, help us help you become a better KS officer?
I think my background is going to help me in every aspect. Being a management graduate, I have learned to coordinate with the people, to manage people, to plan for the actions also, how we are going to, and plus also the budgeting also. Bureaucracy is all about budgeting and plus planning, staffing, directing. So all those skills which I have learned during my MBA days also, it will help me. And having the marketing as a specialization, it will help me also tomorrow if the government is assigning me some job of like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or a Panchayat Raj. So I can also use my skills of marketing to reach to the maximum people.
Okay, tell me, how do you look at the marketing strategies of Byju's? You know, Byju's is spending hefty amount of money into these marketing campaigns, but you also see that there is a huge employment layoff. So, what is the issue right now?
I think Byju's is alleged that they are using the strategy of pressurizing the parents by buying the data of the parents and then uh, taking them by pressure. And second is they are also forcing the workforce to meet the targets which are unrealistic. So I think the Byju's bubble, which was there during pandemic, wherein people were forced to be at home, they sought alternative in Byju's as an education platform, is now bursting because of students also complaining the courses are not updated, and there are some other lacunas within the parameters like the fee structure, like the EMI structure which they have put in for the poor families and all, they cannot afford it. plus their tab program or other programs also, wherein people are complaining that the content is like very redundant. And second thing is that after pandemic, people believe that hybrid model is going to be much better because people are to a greater extent burdened or bored to see their tapes to be inside only. They want to feel the experience of the coaching centers or the physical spaces wherein they can go and meet their friends. That's why Byju's is facing the backlash. And second thing is that they start investing too much money on things which was maybe they felt the management felt is necessary, like acquiring Great Learning, acquiring Whitehead Junior, acquiring Akash. So these things did help. And third thing is that they didn't file their returns, wherein they start showing that employees which are like assets to a company, they start showing it as a liability also. So these are the issues which Byju's is facing right now, sir.
All right. Okay, Javed, let's conclude the session. I have the feedback ready. आपका इंटरव्यू कब है?
सर 19 को सर.
19 जनवरी. ठीक, तो क्या लगा आपको, कैसा था इंटरव्यू आपका?
Sir, I appeared in earlier 1-2 mocks also. I think I was not satisfied today because I felt I was not on par.
देखो, यू हैव अ ब्रिलियंट नॉलेज. तो हम एक एक करके शुरू करते हैं. आपने इंट्रोडक्शन मेंशन किया, आपका नेम, डिस्ट्रिक्ट, पीएचडी, उसके बाद वर्क आपने वर्क का एक्सपीरियंस शेयर किया, फिर आपने अपना इंटरेस्ट बोला. तो इंट्रोडक्शन आपका ठीक है. उसके बाद व्हेन वी स्टार्टेड टॉकिंग अबाउट पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, तो दैट वाज फाइन. मैंने आपको उसमें एक सिचुएशनल क्वेश्चन भी दिया था कि अगर आपको एक सब स्टैंडर्ड वर्क आपका सबऑर्डिनेट प्रोड्यूस करेगा, हाउ वुड यू handle that situation. तो आपने बोला you talk to the person, you'll see what are the issues and also you will issue some guidelines. पर यहाँ पर the idea is, जब आपको ऐसा situational question पूछा जा रहा है, the idea is कि आप precisely आप अपनी personality में आप में कुछ है, कुछ helping nature है भी या नहीं है, whether you would help that person or not. ठीक है ना? तो यहाँ पर आपको हेल्पिंग का एक कॉन्सेप्ट डाल देना चाहिए था कि आप उससे बात करते, उसके इश्यूज समझते, उसको खुद से हेल्प भी कर देते ताकि वो काम कर सके. कौटिल्य पे जो क्वेश्चन था, बहुत अच्छा नॉलेज है आपका उस पर. मैंने, लेकिन एक चीज़ जो मुझे बार बार लग रही थी कि यू आर टू कंसाइज विद योर आंसर्स. कि जैसे आपने 1-2 लाइन बोल दी और बस चुप हो गया आप. लाइक यू समटाइम ऐसा लगता था समटाइम्स आप आधा अधूरा बोल रहे हो. तो यू शुड अ लिटिल बिट elaborate on these questions. मैंने वो बार बार बोला है ना, elaborate on this. तो
एक्चुअली सर दिस गॉट अर्लियर मॉक्स में दे आस्क्ड मी कि तुम ज्यादा बोल रहे हो, तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा जस्ट करो. दैट्स व्हाई सर, ये थोड़ा इसमें
ठीक. अब मेंटेन अ बैलेंस. ज़्यादा बोलना भी नहीं है और इतना कम भी नहीं बोलना कि ऐसा लग जाए कि आप अधूरा बोल रहे हो. ठीक है ना? क्योंकि इससे क्या फीलिंग आती है ना, जैसे आप इतना ज़्यादा कंसाइज हो जाते हो, तो इससे ऐसा फीलिंग आता है कि आप अवॉइड कर रहे हो फर्दर क्वेश्चंस. क्योंकि मैंने जैसे आपको पूछा कि मैनेजमेंट और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन आर दे द टू साइड्स ऑफ द सेम थिंग. एटलीस्ट कम अप विद 2-3 पॉइंट्स. 3 पॉइंट इज अ गोल्डन रूल. पर एक पॉइंट पर आकर आप यू जस्ट फिनिश इट ऑफ. ऐसा लगता है कि जैसे अब्रप्टली आप अधूरा छोड़ दिया आपने. ठीक है. सो उसके बाद मैंने आपको पूछा कि व्हाई डू यू वांट टू जॉइन. देखो, आई आस्क्ड यू व्हाई डू यू वांट टू जॉइन सिविल सर्विसेज. आपने बहुत अच्छा जवाब दिया कि आपको लग रहा था कि मोनोटोनस जॉब हो जाएगा और आपको एक डाइवर्सिटी की जरूरत थी. पर ठीक है, दिस इज वन ऑफ द रीजन. देयर इज नॉट ओनली वन ऑफ द रीजंस कि आप क्यों आना चाहते हैं. देयर इज ऑलवेज अ मल्टीपल फैक्टर्स बिहाइंड वेदर यू चूज और नॉट चूज अ पर्टिकुलर ऑप्शन. तो यू हैव टू कम अप विद 2-3 रीजंस. आपने जहाँ पर बोलना था मोनोटोनस है, फिर जाके आपने मेंशन किया फिनेंशियल स्टेबिलिटी है, फिर आपने कहा कि एम्पावरमेंट होगा, अगर मुझे एम्पावर किया गया तो मैं ऐसा कंट्रीब्यूशन कर सकता हूँ. दैट इज अ सेटिस्फाइंग रिप्लाई. आप 2-3 फैक्टर्स दे रहे हो, तो नेवर कम अप विद जस्ट वन ऑफ द फैक्टर्स. उसके बाद बारामुल्ला की बात की. अच्छा नॉलेज है आपका. वहाँ सेक्स रेशियो में थोड़ा मुझे लगा कि मुझे समझ नहीं आया कि व्हाट वाज द एक्सप्लेनेशन दैट यू गिव कि
सर आई गॉट लॉस्ट इन दैट सर.
हाँ ठीक है, फिर भी इट्स फाइन. बट अगेन 2-3 जगह पर आई विल कम टू इट, जहाँ पर यू आई टोल्ड यू ऐसा होगा. क्या होता है कि अगर आपका कौन से शिफ्ट में इंटरव्यू है?
हाँ सर, मॉर्निंग शिफ्ट फर्स्ट वन.
देखिए, अब शुरू में अगर आपका मॉर्निंग में है, जैसे उनको 11 बजे बुला दिया उन्होंने, तो ऐसा भी नहीं है वो 11 बजे ही इंटरव्यू होगा आपका. कभी वो 1 बजे हो जाता है, कभी 2 बजे हो जाता है, तो मामला क्या हो जाएगा कि उन्होंने जो सवाल उस दिन के लिए रखे होते हैं वो ख़त्म हो जाते हैं। उसके बाद वो क्या बोलते हैं आपको, चलिए बताइए आपने कौन सा टॉपिक प्रिपेयर किया है, आप ही को पूछेंगे वो, तो आप जो बोलेंगे उसी पर वो काउंटर क्वेश्चंस कर लेंगे। या फिर ऐसा कर लेंगे जैसे मैंने किया कि आप बताइए कि दुनिया में कौन से प्रेसिंग इश्यूज़ है अभी, तो आपने मुझे बोला रिसेशन है, क्लाइमेट चेंज है और रशिया यूक्रेन, हाँ रशिया यूक्रेन है। अब देखिए रिसेशन जैसे ही आपने मेंशन किया, नो डाउट इट इज़ द बिगेस्ट कॉज ऑफ कंसर्न राइट नाउ, बट यू डिड नॉट हैव वेरी गुड नॉलेज अबाउट द रिसेशन, ठीक है ना। सो व्हाई मेंशन अ टॉपिक वेयर इन यू आर नॉट दैट मच वेल वर्स्ड, जहाँ पर आपने यू गेव अ रॉन्ग डेफिनेशन अबाउट द स्लो डाउन एंड द रिसेशन। स्लो डाउन क्या होता है, स्लो डाउन में यू आर ग्रोइंग एज एन इकोनॉमी, आप ग्रो कर रहे हो, पर द रेट ऑफ ग्रोथ इज फॉलिंग। Suppose you are growing at an 8% rate, now you are growing at 4%. That is a slowdown. But you're growing at 4%. Recession is negative growth for 2 consecutive quarters. उसमें आप नेगेटिव, उसमें आपका फॉल हो जाता है जीडीपी का, ठीक है ना। सो स्लो डाउन और रिसेशन में देयर इज अ डिफरेंस। जब मैंने आपको रिसेशन की डेफिनेशन बोली, उसमें आपने स्लो डाउन घुसा दिया। सो दैट इज फिर मैं आपको बार बार पूछ रहा था, आर यू श्योर अबाउट इट, आर यू श्योर अबाउट इट। जैसे मैंने आपको बोला कि इंडिया ने कौन सी, अच्छा जे शेप्ड रिकवरी, यू मेंशनड इट, खुद से आपने बोला। अब अगर आपने जे शेप मेंशन नहीं किया, इसका ये मतलब होना चाहिए था आपको जे शेप के बारे में पता होना चाहिए, तो आपने उसको ऐसे ऊपर तो चढ़ाया, फिर आपने उसको वापस गिरा दिया। पर जे शेप इज जस्ट लाइक दिस, जहां पर वो ऊपर ही चढ़ता जाता है, एंड इट इज एन अनरियलिस्टिक सिनेरियो। हमने कहीं पर भी दुनिया में जे शेप रिकवरी देखी ही नहीं, ठीक है ना। वी हैव सीन अ वी शेप्ड रिकवरी, डब्ल्यू शेप्ड रिकवरी, यू शेप देखा है हमने, जे शेप इज एन अनरियलिस्टिक सिनेरियो। तो यू शुड नॉट हैव मेंशन जे अगर आप उसमें वेल वर्स नहीं थे। उसके बाद मैंने आपको पूछा इंडिया की कौन सी रिकवरी शेप थी। वेल इकोनॉमिक सर्वे कह रहा था कि हम वी शेप्ड रिकवरी एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, बट इंडिया की रिकवरी का प्रोसेस वाज नॉट वी शेप्ड, इट वाज इनिशियली इट वाज अ डब्ल्यू शेप्ड एंड देन लेटर ऑन वी कॉल्ड इट अ के शेप्ड रिकवरी, ठीक है ना, जहां पर देयर वाज दिस इंक्रीजिंग गैप बिटवीन द रिच एंड द पुअर, wherein one particular class was growing at a faster rate and the other class was just falling. So that became a K. मैंने आपको पूछा जीडीपी और जीवीए में क्या फर्क है, why is there a gap between GDP and GVA? If you did not know the concept, you could have simply said कि sir I'm not able to recollect right now, I'm sorry. तो मुझे अगर आप ऐसा बोलते थे मुझे भूल जाता, मुझे याद नहीं रहता, पर क्योंकि आपने गलत जवाब दे दिया, वो दिमाग में रह जाता है कि इसने इस जगह पर गलत बोला था। अब जीडीपी और जीवीए में इट्स नॉट द डिफरेंस कि जीवीए में कोई बाहर से कोई प्रोडक्ट है, नहीं, जीडीपी जीवीए में फर्क है प्राइसेस का। जीडीपी मेंटेन किया जाता है एट मार्केट प्राइसेस एंड जीवीए इज मेंटेन्ड एट बेसिक प्राइसेस। सो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन जीवीए एंड जीडीपी ऑन अकाउंट ऑफ इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस एंड सब्सिडीज, ठीक है ना। वो मार्केट प्राइस है, ये बेसिक प्राइस। मून लाइटिंग, देखिए अब मैंने आपको I2U2 पे सवाल पूछा, आपने सिंपली बोला सर आई एम नॉट एबल टू रिकलेक्ट, ठीक है वो भूल गया मैं, वो दैट इज नॉट एन इशू, पर गलत जवाब देना इज एन इशू, ठीक है ना। मैंने आपको पूछा कि BRI का कोई ऑल्टरनेटिव है, तो यू ट्राई टू आंसर इट, बट ठीक है इट वाज फाइन। आपको अगर अपनी कोई भी नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट अपनी पर्सनालिटी का वो पूछेंगे, do not come up with those negative aspects that are related to your character, that are related to your nature per se, because नेचर को बदलना बहुत मुश्किल है। आप अगर ऐसी कोई वीकनेस या ऐसी कोई नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट बोलेंगे जिसको बदला जा सकता है, जैसे आप बोल सकते हैं डिसऑनेस्टी क्या है। फॉर एग्जांपल सर मैं सपोज मुझे कोई भी सटल सा, कोई भी नॉर्मल सी एग्जांपल आई वुड से कि जैसे कि आप कहीं बाहर थे जामिया मिलिया में एंड यू हैड टू कम होम, और आपने अपने मदर से झूठ बोला कि आप नहीं आ पाएंगे बिकॉज आपका कॉलेज में कोई काम है, बट आप गए, आपने उनको झूठ बोला, आप डिसऑनेस्ट थे, पर आपका मकसद था कि आप उनको सरप्राइज देते। ठीक है, तो आपने डिसऑनेस्टी भी दिखा दी और वो सटलनेस भी बता दिया कि भाई ऐसा कोई मैं मेजर कोई कैरेक्टर का या नेचर का मेरा प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, ये बस छोटी छोटी चीज़ें सटलनेस है, तो वो आप बता सकते हैं। जैसे आप वीकनेस में, मैं आपको पूछूं आपकी वीकनेस क्या है, तो नेवर कम विद अ वीकनेस जहां पर आप बोलेंगे कि सर मैं आई एम ओवर इम्पल्सिव, या मैं ओवर इमोशनल हूँ, या ओवर थिंक करता हूँ, ये सब चीज़ें वीकनेसेस भी सटल होनी चाहिए। सर मेरी वीकनेस ये है कि मुझे स्पोर्ट्स अच्छा नहीं आता, मेरी वीकनेस ये है कि मुझे गाना अच्छा नहीं आता, या मुझे डाइट कंट्रोल नहीं होता, मैं खाना ज़्यादा पसंद करता हूँ। तो ये कुछ ऐसी सटल वीकनेसेस हैं जिससे एक केस ऑफिसर में कोई दिक्कत नहीं आएगी। उसके बाद मैंने आपको सवाल पूछा व्हाई शुड वी सिलेक्ट यू, हैड अ गुड आंसर फॉर दैट एज वेल, तो वहाँ पर कोई दिक्कत नहीं है। बायजूस का भी ठीक ठाक जवाब था। तो ये कुछ चीज़ें हैं, मुझे लग रहा है कि you have a very solid knowledge. So just be attentive with what you say. If you're not comfortable with those topics, just do not get into that sphere, because उससे देखिए एक पैनलिस्ट के दिमाग में क्या आ जाएगा, ये हवा में बातें कर रहा है, बिकॉज इसको पता ही नहीं कि इस टॉपिक में कोई डेप्थ की अंडरस्टैंडिंग भी नहीं है इसको, बिकॉज ये आपके सिलेबस में लिखा है, यू नीड टू हैव द डेप्थ ऑफ नॉलेज, ये आपके सिलेबस में लिखा है। तो अगर आप कोई टॉपिक मेंशन कर रहे हो उसमें अच्छा खासा वेल वर्स्ड होने चाहिए आप। उसके बाद नेगेटिव एस्पेक्ट्स अपनी पर्सनालिटी के शोकेस नहीं करने हैं। हर किसी ने कोई ना कोई क्या होता है, उसकी वीकनेस होती है, उसका ये होता है, बट डू नॉट शो टू दी पैनलिस्ट कि आप में ये दिक्कत है। जस्ट बी सटल विद देम, और थोड़ा जब भी जवाब बोलेंगे बताइए इसके रीजंस क्या है, बताइए आप में वीकनेस कितनी है, बताइए आप में स्ट्रेंथ कितनी है। तो जब आपको कुछ जवाब देना है, ऑलवेज कम अप विद 2 or 3 आंसर्स, पॉइंट्स। एक पे रुकना नहीं है, 3 से ज़्यादा बोलना नहीं है।
ट्रू सर।
ठीक है, बाकी यू हैव वेरी सॉलिड नॉलेज। वी होप अगर आपका मेंस अच्छा हुआ है तो इंटरव्यू के बेसिस पे यू इंशाल्लाह वुड गेट सिलेक्टेड। हमें उम्मीद है कि हम आपको फाइनलिस्ट में देखें।
थैंक यू सर।
ऑल राइट, इफ यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस यू कैन आस्क।
No, sir, not any questions, sir. Yes, sir. I think earlier also, like, sir, was my speed this time a bit slow or it was a bit fast? Because this.
You like, I was able to understand what you were saying, but you speak a little fast compared to other candidates. आप थोड़ा तेज बोलते हो।
No, sir, I am just reducing it.
Yeah, if this is the reduction, that then you're really working hard. But आप तेज बोलते हो, you compared to other students, आप अपने ideas काफी fast बोलते हो, and just try to regulate it a bit.
Yes, sir, I'm doing it, sir.
All right, all the very best for your interview, and may Allah bless you, and we'll wait for the final list. Inshallah, we'll see your name.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, take care, bye.